let's go now to.
Well,
Let me ask this.
this is certainly something here.
Well, let me ask this before we jump into this. We got Jim Ross with Jim Cornette and the Gangsters, and this is the best confrontation segment we're going to see with Jr. and Cornette. Do you have anything you want to say before I play this bit of audio that is really good?
Well, just that this produces a couple of the most memorable lines in the Smoky Mountain history books. And it puts, I was going to save this for the end. It doesn't spoil anything. We're about to play it anyway. But New Jack has been kind of off Whitey lately because they've been building up the feud with the rock and roll. It's good to see him get back to his knitting, if you will.
And I want to say this. It takes a minute for this to get started because Corny is being the ultimate salesman. He's giving his sales pitch to
Boy, you know what I thought of here? Y'all remember Jerry what was his name? Jerry Heller with NWA, and they were all like saying that he got Easy E to turn on the rest of them. That's what this reminded me of.
Harper,
oh yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah. Harper, you got any thoughts before I hit play?
Nah.
All right.
Hit play.
Let's listen because this is a lot of fun. This is Jim Ross with Cornette and the Gangsters in the confrontation segment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here this week, as you heard, Jim Cornette wanted the opportunity to speak to the Gangsters. Now, what's this all about?
You know, I've got to make an offer to New Jack and Mustafa right now, and also Uptown D-Lo Brown. How you doing? And I know that you got a lot on your mind this weekend, New Jack, the ghetto street fight with the Rock and Roll Express. I know you got a lot on your mind. If you want to, go ahead and vent that now. Get that out of the way, and then I got a few words to say to you.
Rock and Roll Express, finally, you done went to the ultimate. You decided that you could get mad enough to sign a match between me and Mustafa, a street fight. My kind of fight, you understand? You don't know nothing about that. We already proved that wrestling might not be one of our best things, but fighting, baby, we mastering that. And we done proved it. We got the straps. You don't. You and Ricky somewhere now crying the blues, calling the commissioner, crying because you said we cheated. Well, if we did, so what? You got drunk in Memphis, couldn't make it to the show, you blame that on us. So now you want to come up here and try to cause some more problems for us. Well, I'm going to tell you something, and I tell Jim Cornette, and I tell these rednecks, I don't need to rock and roll. I don't need nobody out here cheering for me, and most of all, partner, I don't need you.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's what you do need. That's what you do need, New Jack, and that's why I'm out here to make you this offer today, because of what you said about the rock and roll. You see, as bad as it pains me to say this, you guys have come closer to putting the Rock and Roll Express out of wrestling than any team that I've managed so far. And it pains me to say that because I wanted to be the one to take credit for it. But I tell you what, you guys have the ability to be the greatest tag team on the face of this planet. You guys have almost finished with the rock and roll, and I see unlimited potential in your future. You guys get in there, and you can do anything in that ring. But where you have a few shortcomings is where I can help out. Because you see, you guys aren't diplomatic. You aren't very tactful. You go in there, and instead of trying to negotiate and sign those contracts the right way and talk to people, you go in there and you steamroller. I've got the inside track on signing contracts. I've been dealing with these promoters, push these pencils around, telling people what to do for a long time now. And whereas you guys get in that ring and you pull a set of brass knuckles out, or you pull a blackjack out right in front of the referee and knock somebody out, I can teach you how to be more devious, because I've been doing that sneaky stuff for years. So what I am saying to you is your ship has come in, a golden opportunity has taken place, and I'm going to make you an offer today unprecedented. I've managed 2 tag teams in the last 10 years, the Midnight Express and the Heavenly Bodies, and both of them have been the greatest tag team in the business at their time. Both of them been World Tag Team Champions, Smoky Mountain Champions. The list goes on and on. I am here prepared to make you an offer order before midnight tonight, of a lifetime. I am prepared to sign the Gangsters to an exclusive contract for me to manage you and take you straight to the top. I'll get those contracts signed the right way. I'll do the right kind of negotiations, and I'll teach you those little subtleties about being sneaky and devious that you haven't so far picked up on. In other words, what I'm saying to you is my guidance and my guiding hand, together with your natural ability, will be unstoppable. All you got to do is sign on a dotted line, and I'm going to shake your hand, and I'm going to say it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Cornette, for 400 years, white folks got ships, went to Africa, stole my ancestors, brought them back here, chained in the bows of a slave ship for 400 years. Now this is 1994, not 1794. I don't need no white boy like you or these rednecks out here coming to me telling me what you can do for me. I got a college education and a criminal record, so I know how to make decisions. So let me tell you something. The Gangsters are black-owned and black-operated, and I don't need no white boy telling me jack, punk.
I don't think they're going to do the deal with you.
You're going to be sorry about this. An opportunity like this don't come along every day. And I am not like these rednecks, and I've never been like these rednecks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, apparently Mr. Cornette's business proposition has gone awry. No deal with the Gangsters, and we'll be back. Don't you go away. A lot more still to come.
Oh, well, there's a lot there to unpack. So, y'all fight for who wants to go first.
Go ahead, Harper.
Go ahead, Harper. Harper?
What?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay. You don't have nothing to say about
what?
it?
What?
Go ahead.
It's like the faces, huh?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Crew.
That's true, huh?
Not where we're at.
Fucking poop, Bradley.
Okay, let me stop this because we got to talk about this in a second because we'll get sidetracked on what we just discussed. But I don't think they're faces.
He's fucking college educated and he's got a criminal record. He knows how to make decisions.
That's
what
right,
a line.
Yeah.
But then he followed it up with the Gangsters are black owned and black operated. I don't need a white boy telling me jack, punk. And then JR sarcastically hits him with the "that's real classy" when he says, "I don't think they're gonna do the deal with you."
Yeah.
He is no nonchalant. I'm starting to love JR's sarcasm, man. I don't know if I realized it as much back in the day. Okay, what do you got, Doc?
Well,
I'm sorry, Harper, go ahead.
And fucking Mustafa looks like a fucking nightmare. With that Raiders shit on and the mask. Like, this is these people's worst fucking nightmare showing up to their house. That's what they picture when they hear a fucking noise outside and they look through the fucking blinds in their trailer. That's what they see.
I guarantee you a guy watching that turned to his daughter and said, "You ever bring anybody home like that, I'll shoot you both."
Mustafa with the mask over his face in the Raiders jacket, the long Raiders jacket and the bandana on the head is intimidating. I mean, he looks bigger than what he is because he's the one closest to the camera, so like it's an optical illusion. He looks huge. But he looks scary, and Doc's right. These people looked at him like, you're right, Harper. They're like, oh my God, this guy, what the hell?
He's a nightmare. He's a real nightmare.
Yes. All right, Doc, I'm going to turn it to you.
So much. All the way back to the beginning, wrestling might not be our best thing. What a great line that was. He did say, now we got the straps. So he called them straps. Everybody popped when he called him Patna.
Patna?
Patna. And then Corny's just great because he's like, I can help you be even worse. And, I was thinking, he goes, I can teach you the tricks on how to be sneaky. I was like, I was hoping that included ether.
Yeah.
But there's some carefully selected words here that are just the perfect word choice to set this crowd off. Because if you go to the racist watching this, they hate the fact that this thing is 400 years old. Because they want to say slavery was 100 years at this point, or 130.
No,
and when
you
he
got that
said,
backwards. You got that
well,
backwards. No, you got it backwards. Everybody thinks slavery was 400 years ago. It's like, it didn't end that long ago, assholes. We're only a couple generations, 3 generations from that shit.
And then, and he used the term, y'all came and stole my people.
That's right.
And
Jesus Christ.
That's a very powerful word choice there.
They stole them.
And the racist would say, yeah, but your people sold them. Well, whatever. I'm not here to discuss the machine, the inner workings of slavery.
That don't make it fucking right. Them motherfuckers was wrong too. Shit. I mean, see,
yeah,
this is
two wrongs, pal.
This is that whole statement I made years ago. I've always said, wrong is wrong. I don't give a shit what you are. Yeah. And this shit was wrong too, but go ahead. Yes.
So the obvious lines about the college education, the criminal record, black owned, black operated. But Corny is fantastic there because now what he's done is, I don't know that he's completed a babyface turn here, but he has definitely positioned the gangsters as even more heelish, because they're so heelish they won't even work with him. These guys are insane. And he started the ball on this a few weeks ago when he goes, I can't talk strategy with them. They don't want to talk to me and Tammy. Don't know what we're going to do. And this is the culmination of that. So this whole thing is great on several levels.
Yeah, I agree with you, Doc. There's a lot of great here. I told you, longtime listener and patron, Ben Martin on the Facebook group was telling me that he was sitting in the second row and the guy behind him, I think he said guy behind him, when this segment started, before Cornette was getting into his pitch, he was like, I knew that goddamn Jim Cornette was going to try to recruit those ends.
That's nice.
Screamed it out while this was actually playing. He was in the building and the guy said it. So that's one thing. But what's funny about this is, when you think about this, I've said this a couple times, Corny is one of the most devious managers ever. He's ethered people. He's assaulted them with the racket. I mean, he's really fireballs, cosmic fireballs. He's an evil bastard on the surface of is his wrestling personality and character. And it's amazing because all of a sudden, as evil as he is, he's now trying to recruit the gangsters, which is very bad. And these people like, fuck you, Cornette. But then when the gangsters turn him down and what's about to happen, he's kind of about to be babyface Corny, because it's like, well, fuck that. I mean, he was going to align himself with them, but now he's not. All of a sudden now, it's like he's the lesser of two evils in my eyes, as this thing's going to play out. But this is a, what do you say, Doc, always? A seminal moment? Would you say that?
That is correct.
This is good shit right here. We are black owned and black operated.
You love that line because y'all are that way. Y'all want to be.
See, there you go. Who's the racist now, motherfucker?
Yeah, no, I want to include everyone.
It was funny. I was talking to my wife and I had this promo in my mind. We were having a discussion. We were talking about her grandparents, and she was cutting a promo on something she saw on the news, and it was related to slavery 400 years ago, and she was like, these motherfuckers, slavery didn't end 400 years ago. My grandfather, his parents were slaves. What is this shit? I get tired. She got all hot about it. I started to show her this promo, but then I figured she might get a little hotter because she doesn't understand wrestling's a work sometimes and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, just a little something I wanted to add to that, as New Jack saying 400 years ago. It's not 400 years ago, people. It actually was much more recent, especially in terms of humans being on this earth. Anything else before we keep moving? This is great. I almost want to play New Jack's response again.
It was great.
Yeah,
Good
it was
shit.
fucking awesome.
Good shit. So we go from